Hey there, my friend. Welcome to the Restoration Success Show. This is your co-host, Danny Barrera, with our amazing CEO, Mr. Jamie Randall. Welcome aboard. How's your day going?
Going well. Thanks for having me on here.
Hey, something interesting here. There's three core promises that the restoration scaling system and acceleration has. More leads, more jobs, and more insurance claims. Before we even dive in, I just want you to tell us what are some of the problems that you've noticed in the industry, water damage, water restoration, business owners, and what they're struggling with when it comes to growing their business.
Yeah, I mean, one of the biggest problems is, a lack of consistency and predictability in lead flow. I mean, there's only so many houses that flood a day, so many houses that catch on fire. Mm-hmm. So, these guys could get 5 jobs in a day, and then it might be, quiet for a couple weeks. And, sometimes that doesn't mean there's necessarily something wrong, but that's where when we implement the restoration scaling system, sometimes I call them fishing poles. We put more poles in the water to help them catch more fish, right? AKA leads and jobs. We implement those fishing poles to help bring them more consistency and predictability. And that's one of the main problems we see. And a lot of these guys, are working with TPAs, which is third-party administrators program work. But, they take a percentage of revenue and they're a nightmare to deal with. Or, all the pay-per-lead programs are getting astronomically expensive these days.
Wow.
$8, $9, over $1,000 for one lead. Restoration companies are getting tired of paying that. So they're looking to diversify, their lead sources and to get more consistency coming in.
Yeah. So it sounds like at the end of the day, you're helping these businesses end up with more profitability and predictability in their scale.
Absolutely.
Right? Tell me a little bit more about the company Restoration Marketing Group, like those that don't know who you are and how long you've been in this industry.
Yeah, so I grew up working construction, summers, hauling cinder blocks up hills for foundation work. And then I went to college for construction management. Then I took the field engineer, project manager path, worked in more in the commercial construction world, but building schools, hotels, hospitals, more of that line of work. So I'm more familiar with the rebuild, recon side when it comes to restoration. Then got into construction sales from there. And then I kind of started building this. I saw a need, this is, 6-7 years ago now. Like people are starting to get, do marketing. Construction companies were starting to market online, but not really to the extent I thought they should have. And I remember even talking to some of my old bosses about it. And whether we like it or not, sometimes it's still a good old boy network. It's old school. They're a little slow to adapt to technology. And I would bring these up, and my bosses were like, we don't need a website. We don't need to, advertise on Google. And I was like, y'all can't be serious. You think the internet's a fad? Like you think, and that's where I was like, I'm going for it. Started building, like a lot of entrepreneurial stories, early mornings, lunch breaks, and late nights. Yeah. And started building this on the side, and eventually I was like, hey, it's time to go full time on this. So, and here we are.
Yeah. And you became one of the fastest growing lead generation companies in this space. Just give us an overview of what makes this company special versus any other marketing agency out there.
I've worked on the construction side and I have the digital marketing expertise. So when you marry those together, that's where it's like I've been on their side of the fence. So I understand their pains and frustrations. Yeah. So when you match those together, it definitely separates us from the competition. And we're specialists in water, fire, mold. We eat, breathe, and sleep it. So we're specialists in the damage restoration industry. Now, a lot of our clients, they might own multiple businesses or other home service companies, and then they're like, hey, we don't want to work with anybody else, so we'll help them market and grow and scale those companies as well. But this is, we have a proven system. It works. Obviously we cater and tweak it based on the size company, their demographics, their population, where they're located. But it's a proven framework, and so we just stick with what we're good at.
Yeah, to survive in this industry as a marketing agency specifically, you got to be good at what you do. And to become one of the fastest growing agencies in this space specifically, you got to deliver results and serve clients at a higher level. So tell me a little bit about the program and the solution itself. What does it comprise of? Like you talked about the fishing poles and casting out many of them. And that's something interesting because water damage, right, restoration, etc., you have inbound inquiries that you've got only so many of them floating around per month. What makes this special? What is it that you guys do different than anyone else?
Integrity is one of our core values. So if we say we're going to do something, we do it. But something we also, I think, why we have the reputation we have and why we're one of the fastest growing agencies in this space is because we also shoot people straight before they even come up. It's like, hey, there's a very good chance something will go sideways in this campaign. And a lot of people are like, man, thank you for being, like, we'll just tell them straight up. Like, we don't, it's not all unicorn and rainbows. Like, to everybody listening, like, if you're in marketing or sales or you're a construction company owner, like, I say it's blood, sweat, and tears a lot of times, right? And growing and scaling a business is not easy. And things will go sideways, but I'm like, hey, welcome to the game.
Yeah.
Like, if you're expecting anything different, like, we're not a good fit. But I think that's why, I still have guys that have been with me since I started the company.
Wow.
Is because they're like, it hasn't been perfect the whole way, but you always make it right and you get the job done.
Yeah.
And so that is one of our key, core values, and we try to own up to that because again, it's not easy, and it's growing and scaling a restoration company is not easy. So that's why we tell them that, hey, something might go a little sideways, but that's our job to watch it, tweak it, optimize it, and make it right. And that never stops either. Like, this is not a set it and forget it thing. But so I just wanted to say that because we do like to just tell people, hey, like, we're not going to tell you we're going to shoot you straight.
Yeah.
Whether you like it or not, we look at ourselves as consultants. My job is to tell you the reality of the situation, and this is what I advise we do, period.
Right.
And a lot of people respect that. But so when it comes to the restoration scaling system, it kind of starts with a discovery call. We'll say, hey, what's your current revenue? What are your goals, over the next 12 months? How many leads are you currently getting? What's your close rate? And then we'll kind of insert different fishing poles or lead channels to meet them where they're at. Because if you're already doing $10 million a year, we're probably going to have a little bit more aggressive approach than if you're only doing $500,000 a year. It's because the budget might be limited. Because, it's, we can all say, hey, I'm doing $500,000 a year. I want to do $5 million next year. Like, that sounds good, but that ain't. You got to pay to play in
the
this
infrastructure.
Exactly. And some of these guys couldn't even handle the amount of calls some of our guys get. It's like, I want more leads. You just get my phone ringing. Like, dude, we can get your phone ringing, but then they're not answering the phone.
Exactly.
So we try to meet them where they're at, and then we will customize it and tweak it to help them get from point A to point B in the quickest time that we can do it.
Yeah, I think that's something that makes your program special, because as someone that's been in this space now for over 17 years in the digital marketing, you hear a lot of marketers overpromise and underdeliver constantly. And, part of it is trying to make everyone fit in a specific shoebox, and when you look at this big agencies, $800 million a year agencies, and you're part of their programs, you're almost like unseen at that level. And when they come to your world and you customize the solution, you prescribe a specific budget. A lot of times, for the listeners out there, if you're looking for a water damage restoration company, that marketer that's going to help you get to that next level, they have to understand your industry, your size of the company, and the scale that you're currently at, and where is it that you're looking to go, and build a prescription that's going to be right fit for you. Because to your point, it's a lot of times you can flood them with leads, but what if they're not ready? What if they don't have the appointment setting script, or the specific process, the integrations, automations, the follow-up, the lead generation campaigns? It's the organic leads versus the paid, and what does the blend need to be for that specific size company?
You have to have it mapped out and strategically, like, because as you grow and scale, like, how many more trucks you're going to need, how many more crews you're going to need. Just to give you an example, I just had a client, fly into Charleston, where we're based out of, and he met with me because he's going to 12 locations over the next 2 years, basically going national. And we started with one, got it dialed in, cleaned up. He is dominating this market, but this is a very ambitious client, which we love, and that's why he flew in. We spent a couple of days mapping out, these are the 12 locations. These are the fishing poles we're going to put in the water. This is the budget required. And he's going to crush it because he understands the game. But we wanted to strategically map it out and customize it based on, all right, hey, let's look at this market. This is what we need to do. This is the budget we're looking at. But he's already seen it proven in 3 different markets. So that's why he flew in. He's like, hey, you're going to help me take this thing national. And we're like, it's go time. Let's do it.
This is the true scale of a proven model, right? Like
Yeah,
if you were just
exactly.
kind of learning on their dime and you didn't know exactly what you needed to do versus someone coming in, they already know, you know, the playbooks that you need to run and your team knows and you have the reputation and trust. If you're listening to this and you're a water damage restoration company, to reach out to Jamie and our team here at our agency. And what I want you to do is have the conversation. It starts with the first conversation, which is like the discovery of where are you at, what is it that you're looking to accomplish, and you know, this is not for everyone out there, right? This is for specific companies in this space. You want to talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, and definitely reach out. I mean, we do free consultations. Like we can at least do an audit and give, you know, our 2 cents based on our expertise and kind of where they're located. I mean, because some markets we kind of have a waiting list on because we're kind of maxed out.
What you got to do is make sure you take action. Just reach out, and have the conversation, and that way they can get access to you and your team and have the quick conversation. You know.
Yeah, for sure.
And you've got nothing to lose, everything to gain, and gaining clarity. So if you're currently with a marketing partner and maybe you're questioning or wondering if you could do better, that's where you can have these consultations and strategy calls.
Absolutely.
What's the smallest size companies that you guys consider working with?
Typically $500,000 and up.
Okay.
It's, you know, and we shoot people straight too, because I've helped grow and scale enough restoration companies, and we tell guys, I mean, it's blood, sweat, and tears from 0 to the million mark. But typically we'll like companies doing at least $500,000 or more, so that way they have a little bit. You know, we're not here to like, hey, like if you ever run a business before, like we're not telling you to like, we shouldn't have to tell you to answer the phone and stuff like that. So if they're doing at least $500,000 or more, I mean, upwards, you know, 10, 15 million, 20, I mean, it's up, you know, anything above $500,000, we have experience with that. So,
and when it comes to your program delivery, you know, what is it exactly that your program offers? I know there's some customized options that you guys do that when someone reaches out, you walk them through the process, but as a whole, do you guys do organic search, PPC, any specific platforms that you advertise on?
Yeah. And this is where we will customize, because sometimes people reach out, hey, I need SEO. And this is where I'm like, hey, based on your current setup, I say we wait on that. Mm-hmm. Let's start with PPC or LSA. So that's where we'll tell them, like, in our honest opinion, because, you know, they just heard from their buddy, hey, I'm crushing it from SEO. But we're like, hey, yes, you can absolutely crush it from SEO. But so I call them the big 4 on the first page of Google, right? Local service ads, which some of you maybe heard it called Google Guaranteed, but it's basically Google's pay per call platform. That's a big one. Google Map Pack.
You guys are the best at that.
Yeah,
I mean, I've seen some. You get in unstuck a lot of the LSAs that, you know, people claim they've been running LSAs, but they're nowhere to be found still. You guys are able to get them unstuck pretty much.
And again, it's not overnight. I don't want people to think like this is going to happen in 2 days, but no, I mean, that's why people stick with us and come to us, because we don't stop until we get it figured out.
Right. And when you do, it's just.
Oh, yeah. I mean, we literally have some clients making millions just from that fishing pole.
Right.
But then they're also doing SEO, Google Maps rankings, and pay-per-click. And then, we have our software Lead Cottage, which does automations and stuff like that. We can help with review acquisition. But the big 4, local service ads, SEO, Google Maps, and pay-per-click. But again, we don't always advise all of those to everybody. We try to like, hey, what do you have currently going? What are your goals? What is your budget? This is how we should layer it in. Sometimes we might just start with a couple fishing poles per se, and then, hey, let's just layer in these other ones down the road when you can handle it. And that's where we just shoot people straight too. We're like, hey, we're not going to try to sell you all this stuff right in the gate. Like, we don't think you can handle it quite yet. But it works too. It's, you know, I also just want to make that be known. It's just, for example, I've caught up with a couple of our clients the past week, and one of them, he's doubled with us every year he's been with us.
Incredible.
Yeah. He did, last year, I think he did 1.5. Talked to him actually last night. He'll do 3.5 this year.
Amazing.
And then another guy, you know, I want to say this. A lot of people think SEO doesn't work, this, that, and other. Caught up with our client Travis recently. And we're doing all 4 fishing poles with him and helped him open a new office. But he was like, man, just from his SEO efforts alone, this all happened in 2 months. And again, he gets hundreds of calls a month. He was just bringing up 3 phone calls.
Wow.
$500,000. No, but listen to this. 3 phone calls. $500,000 job, $220,000 job, and a $200,000 job from 3 of the calls. He gets hundreds a month. So he's obviously a multi-7-figure operation. But people are like, oh, SEO doesn't work. And I mean, he laughs about it because he's like, yeah, these guys don't want to do it. That's fine. And he's laughing all the way to the bank, literally. Literally $1 million from 3 of the calls, not all the other ones.
That's incredible.
Yeah, but it takes time, too. That's what we say. Like, this isn't a 2-week thing. But he's been with us for years, and he's not going anywhere because he's like, oh, man, just keep them coming. And those are commercial work, too. So this stuff works for commercial and residential jobs.
So RMG truly works like a partner, a growth partner, a fractional CMO for the digital marketing, digital advertising. Someone comes in, you walk them through the process, you figure out the fastest path to cash, to ROI, and then you customize and scale from there. That's what it sounds like. How much does a click cost right now on Order Damage average nationwide? Let's just roll it out. So
I mean, that'll depend on the market, but I mean, we can.
Miami. How much is Miami?
I mean, some of these, if you don't know what you're doing, it can be above $100 a click.
Easy.
Easy. Yeah.
Easy.
And Google will,
per click, not per lead.
No, per click. Per click. Exactly.
And if your landing page, just for reference, if your landing page is not converting at 10%, here you are paying $1,000 per lead.
Yeah.
Per lead.
Yeah.
Not per book job. And some of you guys, if you're booking at 30%, that means you're spending $3,000 to get that one job. If you're not running your marketing effectively and efficiently.
So we look, because we have companies all over U.S. and Canada, and we looked at the average cost per lead on our local service ads for our guys. Typically, we're getting them leads 50 to 75% cheaper than what they're already paying the 33-mile service directs, the pay-per-lead people. Wow. So then this is why I'm like,
it's a no-brainer.
Yeah, exactly.
And it's their brand.
But here's the thing, like I always repeat this until they get it. But once our guys understand what I just said right there, they literally, Jamie, I want you to spend as much money as you physically can through this channel. And like I said, the guy that just flew in to meet with us, he's going national. I mean, he gets 50 leads a month from his alone, just that fishing pole. But again, he's spending money. But he's like, Jamie, I'm 33 miles charging me $850 for a lead in my market. And he's like, you're getting me these for $225 a pop?
Right.
He's like, send them all day, every day. And so that's where, and even for pay-per-click, people think pay-per-click doesn't work. And like, is it easy? Absolutely not. But I mean, again, this will vary based on the market. But if we can generate you exclusive water calls, sub $300, it's half off.
Yes.
And again, that's where we try to, like, people just don't. It's half off. It's arbitrage. You know, if you can get a good lead for half off, you want to open that thing wide open.
You know, it's cheaper than having like an in-house employee doing the marketing for sure. Media buyers nowadays, they want to get paid 6 figures a year. Yeah, easy.
And that's just one position.
That's just one position, not SEO, not the social media. So, I mean, we could talk about all the benefits here, but what's the link? Where can people find you and get set up with a discovery call?
Yeah, so the easiest way, I mean, you can find us on Google, obviously, but you can just type in Restoration Marketing Group. All of our social media website will pop up. Or if somebody wants to type in our website now, I mean, it's the-rmg.com. So it's the-rmg.com.
Love it.
And then there's a schedule call button on that website. Yeah. And anybody listening, definitely you can go to our website, subscribe to our podcast, the Restoration and Success Show. Opt in on our website to our email newsletter. Send out a weekly newsletter with all tips, videos, all kind of things on scaling restoration companies. And then they can check out our YouTube channel as well. We're releasing webinar replays. shorts. If somebody wants a short little 60-second snippet on, how to partner with plumbers or whatever. I mean, I cover all kind of stuff on our YouTube channel as well.
That's great. What's one key thing that you want to leave the audience with as we close this?
I mean, you want to be ahead of the competition, not behind. So I would say go ahead and, look at your 2024, look at, your target, what you have for next year, reverse engineer it down to how many leads you need based on your closing rate, and then partner with a company who can help you get there. You can't just wish it's going to, like, these jobs are just going to fall out of the sky. You got to have a proactive plan in place. It's not easy, but it can be done. I mean, we've helped hundreds of restoration companies grow and scale. It's possible.
Amazing. So you know what to do. Make sure that you hit the subscribe button if you're listening to this podcast. Also hit the subscribe and leave us a review. Let us know how we're doing here on this show. We're bringing more content just like this, the Restoration Success Show. It's been a pleasure here, Jamie, having you and having this conversation. And we'll see you guys on the next one. Thanks for listening.